It is possible to avoid the deaths and devastation of Haiti after its earthquake and huge losses that we've seen in the wake of Hurricane Ivan in Grenada. In 1989, we saw a 6.9 earthquake hit California. There were 57 deaths in California compared to Haiti's 230,000. What accounts for the difference? The answer? Implementing a housing code.
There is no building code for small buildings, for houses in this country. The building guide, which exists at the Bureau of Standards, as far as I'm aware, and I could be corrected on this, is not being enforced at this point in time.
One of the things that earthquakes do when they shake the ground, and the shaking itself would affect structures in it. If you have granular material, you could cause them to behave like a liquid virtually. So they lose their structural integrity. So, you build a house on sand, say.
Unfortunately, a lot of our construction has been built with a structural system that is known to be vulnerable, unreinforced masonry, and it is prevalent throughout Trinidad and Tobago.
So you're saying almost 90% of small homes in the event of an earthquake of the type that we are talking could be wiped out?
Yes.
As Dr. Clark has said earlier in this series, this means that at least 30,000 people will die. In order to mitigate a Haiti, a rubble-in-waiting type disaster, which experts say could easily happen in Trinidad and Tobago, and upon consultation with engineers, we urge the state to take the following steps as a matter of urgency. Pass legislation so that a Trinidad and Tobago building code is made mandatory. Retrofit essential buildings such as hospitals and shelters to meet the highest standards. Promote retrofitting of lower and middle income homes with tax incentives. In the meantime, for those of you building a home, Dr. Clark has this advice.
Use 150mm units, concrete units. Make sure that your foundation is properly built. Make sure you have a tie beam at the top. Make sure that the horizontal steel is not in the joint. Make sure that the proper proportions of cement are used in the concrete mixers. Make sure that when the concrete is being placed inside the holes, that it is properly rodded to get the air bubbles out.
First responsibility of every citizen is to ensure that your house is safe. And if it is not safe, then at least you retrofit to withstand earthquakes as much as possible, to withstand winds of hurricanes as much as possible.
Once the house is built for earthquake resistance, the properties of the house regarding hurricane resistance should be there.
We end our series on disasters in Trinidad and Tobago with advice from all our experts, which could save your life and help you prepare yourself in the event of a major disaster in Trinidad and Tobago. Are you prepared? With a special report for CNC3 News, I'm Ira Mathur.